Hello, hello, hello. This is Stevii Mills, and we are back for another episode of The Conversation with Stevie. Yay. I am all about bringing out that why behind the what of what people do. And today we have an extra special guest, my sister, my friend, my twin. She is in the building, and her name is Dorissa. Hey, Dorissa.
Hey, twin. How are you? Hello, everybody.
Good up in here. We doing good. How are you doing?
I am blessed. I am still feeling real great. This is, after Resurrection Sunday, my favorite day of the year, and it's just been a wonderful time around here. I know we got a lot going on in our world, and people are feeling some kind of way about the virus, but I am trying my best to keep a positive attitude and just feel like the child of God that I am, that I'm still blessed in spite of all the crazy that's going on.
Well, the good thing is, like Clark sisters have said, we're blessed and highly favored.
Come on now, one of my favorite songs. Yes.
Because I am not a singer. I'm not the twin who could sing, so I'm just going to give y'all a little bit just so y'all know. But go ahead and introduce yourself, sister.
My name is Dorissa McCalister-Carnell. In these internet streets, I am known as the Perception Chick. And I go by the Perception Chick because, I've been through and seen a lot of things in my life, y'all. I've been there, done that, seen it all. I don't think there's too much I can ramble off that I have not seen. The list is so long. And I believe in my heart that those things, were the things that the enemy wanted to use to destroy me. Just destroy me and just flat out kill me in some instances. And in spite of it all, God saw fit to not only bring me through, but to give me a story and a testimony so I can, share it with others who might be experiencing some of the same things that I experienced, just so they will know that there is hope. And so I try, my mission in life is to get you, if you're going through something, is to change your perception of that thing and see your life and see yourself through God's eyes. So that's what the rest is all about. That's what I'm all about.
Awesome. And we know that you were a great part of the I Love My Life book nook, and I want to thank you for that primarily, and I also want to have you tell us, why did you say yes to the experience?
I said yes to the experience basically because I know I have a story to tell, and there was a period in my life where the one of the biggest things that the enemy used on me was that feeling of shame. If he can get you caught up in feeling ashamed of yourself, it'll shut you up. He's got you right where he wants you. You believe in the lie that you're not enough and that nobody loves you and that you're unwanted. I jumped at the opportunity to just take my belief system to another level. I believe what God says about me and not what the enemy says. And so just being able to open my mouth and speak and knowing that what I say, may help somebody else, that's just a blessing. So just getting to the point where I get stronger in doing that and letting others know that you too can shed the coat of shame and be amazingly proud and comfortable in your own skin, knowing that you are loved and that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, and that the decisions you've made and maybe the mistakes you've made do not define you. Only God defines you. So, yeah, that's my big why.
Awesome. And let me ask you, I know you have a book that is in the makings very soon to be launched. So tell us about that.
Yes. Well, the book is called the Embrace Formula. This formula, basically, I just believe God created. My mother, in 2 years when she passed on, went to be with the Lord, her sole caregiver. And I remember, and I'm blessed to have had that, being able to take that journey with her. But in the process, there were some things. I had nothing but time on my hands to stop and to think. I'm in the room with her at night, in the room with her in the morning. We're looking at, movies together. There's not a lot of conversation going on because, like I said, my mother had Alzheimer's. So I had a lot of idle time, And sometimes when your mind is not really occupied the way it should be, staying in the Word like you're supposed to, that gives the enemy opportunity to just kind of put his nose where it doesn't belong. And he'll start talking to you, you start listening. And I remember I was having some kind of feelings. I was in my feelings, and then that led to reminiscing about earlier years. I'm 56 years old, so I'm sitting in the room thinking about things I did when I was 20, and it started wearing on me. It started having me second-guess myself. I remember I went in prayer and talking to the Lord, and he gave me some things. I allowed him to just, I would pray. The funny thing about praying is not only are you talking and asking, but then you got to know when to shut up and listen. It's a two-way conversation. So I had time to sit down and listen to what God was saying to me. And make a long story short, he gave me what are now affirmations that I live by. And the things that he was revealing to me about myself, I would go to Scripture and say, okay, when I find a Scripture to back that up, making sure it's Word. And it was. So these affirmations are affirmations that I give away freely. Also, I have a Bit.ly link for that. It's a Bit.ly, bit.ly/affirmations with a capital A, 320, and you can get that for free. And I give that freely because it helped me so much. They helped me so much. To this day, I still say those affirmations. And then he gave me what's called the embrace formula, because I had to kind of sit down and think, okay, how did I get from this place of despair and feeling bad about myself and out downright maybe loathing. I would use the word loathe, because I remember the day I was brushing my teeth and I realized that I didn't even look up in the mirror and make eye contact with myself. And it shocked me. I remember that morning, and I remember thinking to myself, you know what, you haven't looked in the mirror in a long time. In fact, I don't think you've looked in the mirror ever, and that just really it kind of messed me up a little bit. And I remember thinking, so how I think about that day, and I think about where I am now, and how did I get from point A to point B? That's the embrace formula. How you change or allow the Lord to help you change your perception of yourself. The word embrace, it's an acronym. Embrace has 7 letters in it, and each letter is a different step. And so there's 7 steps to silencing the enemy and the inner me. That's the title of the book, the Embrace Formula, 7 Steps to Silencing the Enemy and the Inner Me. And that will be, coming out soon. And I don't want to give the book away, but what I like to talk in acronyms, you guys. I challenge everyone to date themselves, DATE. When we think about date, when you're going out with someone and you're learning, about the other person, you're thinking about committing to that person. The letter D stands for decide to commit to changing your perception about yourself and who you think you are. Change that attitude that you're defined by the things that you did or the mistakes you made or what somebody called you, or how they treated you. You have to decide that I'm walking away from that way of thinking. And then the A stands for acknowledge the lies that the enemy is telling you, that he's told you about yourself. You call him out. Just call him straight out. But you have to abandon. That's another A, abandon the lie. The word abandon means to give up completely, to cease, to support. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to acknowledge the fact that he's lied and that what are these lies? List them. What are the lies that I believe about myself that the enemy has encouraged me and supported me in believing? And then you take the T. You learn the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is what God says about you. And you have to go to Scripture for that, because no one can define you but God, the Creator himself. He made you. He knows why he made you. He knows how he made you. He knows who you are. He knows you by name. He calls you healed. He calls you strong. He calls you forgiven. He calls you whole. He calls you his. hopeful, purposeful. You know, you're beautifully and wonderfully made. Only God can define you. You have to get that truth in your spirit so you have something to buck up against the lie. You see what I'm saying? That's what you go to war with. You go to war with the scriptures. And then the E is express yourself. I challenge everyone to tell their story and keep telling it and don't stop telling it. Yesterday I went online and I did a scope. The Lord gave me press conference. You know, hold a press conference. What is a press conference? You just do a press conference when something's gone down in the news, so everybody's scattering around, they're talking, and you got a big get to the truth, you got his, hers, and the truth, you know, kind of thing going on. Then finally somebody has to step up to the mic and say, you know, excuse me, everyone, you know, this is what's really going on. They give the facts. They give the facts, and they try to set the record straight, because what that does is sometimes it'll quiet people who are out there talking. Maybe they're not, you know, ill-intentioned, but they just out there jabbering and they don't know what they're talking about. So that press conference kind of sets the ball in motion, or maybe now we can get truth out. That's what you got to do with your story. You get out there and you tell it. You tell it no matter how crazy it is, no matter how bold it is, no matter how many mistakes you make. You get out and you tell your truth. Number one, it'll free you. It will free you, because now you've taken the power from the enemy. You've taken the power from your inner me. So all those lies have to cease. So now you've put the truth out there. There's no power over you at that point, because you've taken the power back. And how do you tell your story? You write a book. You can speak. You can just share it with a loved one. Start a podcast. But whatever you do and however you do it, be it to one, be it to the masses, don't ever stop telling your story. So date yourself. Date yourself. You know, my mother used to sing this song, you know, because you got to realize your story is not, your life is not about you. It's not about you. Yeah, you're the one that goes through it, but I'm a firm believer. My favorite scripture is Romans 8:28. For we know, and I like to always break it down like this, you know, at the risk of sounding repetitious, but it is what it is. The word says, for we know. And it doesn't say we ponder or we speculate or we discuss. No, we know. We are sure of this thing. We know that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. And I like to just really zero in on that all part, because that all is what I think trips a lot of people up. It doesn't say all things are going to be good. The word says all things work together for good. So that means if it's good, if it's bad, if it's ugly, if it's unjust, if it's unkind, if you think it's unnecessary, all that is still going to work out for your good. So when I look back at my life, being raped, being molested, going through bankruptcy twice, divorce, my father being murdered in the church by the pastor on a Sunday morning, watching my mother slip away for 10 years every single day, because of this thing called Alzheimer's, having a beautiful child who was born with unique needs. She's nonverbal, non-ambulatory, my pride and joy. But all through all of that, I can sit here and wallow in pain and pity and have a pity party all day long and just start crying, you know, why me, Lord? Why me, Lord? Or I can change my perception and I can say, wow, me, as opposed to why me. Because, see, when I take the attitude of wow me, I'm accepting that he is who he is. None of this has caught him by surprise, and for some strange reason, he chose me. He chose me because he brought me through all of it. He didn't leave me. He didn't forsake me. He brought me through it. And so now that I'm on the other side of it, I got a story to tell. I got a story to tell, and my story, my life is not mine. It's for me to share, because my very story is somebody's survival book. They need to know, okay, well, how'd you do that? Okay, I need to know how you did it, because, see, that's where I'm stuck right now. You see what I'm saying with this? So that going back to the embrace formula, you learn how to change your perception of your circumstances and the things that have happened, the things you look back and say, dang, well, I was crazy when I was 20 years old. We all were. We all made some cuckoo-ca-choo mistakes at 20. That's what 20-year-olds do, you know. But look at you now. You on the other side of it. Take that thing. Speak your truth. Share your story and help somebody. Mama's song that she used to sing. My mom was a pianist. She started playing piano when she was 5 years old. And Mom was always a pianist at the church. And she used to sing this song, y'all, called If I Could Help Somebody. I'll never forget my mama singing that song. It was, if I could help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that he's traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. I remember my mom at the piano singing it. I'm just so thankful that I had those memories because that's how she lived her life, and I'm glad she modeled that. It ain't about you, boo. It ain't about you. Go through that thing. Take notes while Lord is bringing you through it so you can share it with others. That's where you get free. That's where you get free. I'm a living witness. That's where you get free. Okay, I'm done.
That was awesome. I told you I wasn't the twin who could sing. And that's a sing because Dorissa indeed does sing with an A. I love it. I'm so excited that we were able to spend this time together. Before we leave, what I want you to do is definitely give your contact information.
Yes, you can find it on Facebook. That Perception Check. I'm also on Twitter. There wasn't enough letters. It's just Perception Check. So that Perception Check on Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope, and Perception Check on Twitter.
Okay, so you say it one more time.
Okay, that Perception Check on Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope, and then on Twitter, I'm just Perception Check.
Okay, awesome. So, everybody, you've heard from my twin, my sister friend, Dorissa, and she is all about amazing, and she has lived a tremendous life, and we thank God for it. I am Stevie Aisha Mills, and you can find me just by knowing how to spell my first name correctly, Stevii, and you can find me all over social media. You can find me on The Conversation with Stevie, but if you go to cultivatingyourItFactor.com, then you can definitely find me there and get you a free book. So, guys, make it a great day. Don't have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. Bye for now.